you check the children? Your little mess
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Robert Duell.
Having Fuego here.
Here to complete a patron-requested review of a movie we just did a commentary for, which is Phantoms, requested by SK. And since we just did the commentary, the review might not be that long, but I'll start with my overall thoughts and say that it didn't impress me. It had been over probably 15 years since I'd seen it. I remembered liking it. I can see why I liked it, but nowadays it felt slow and the cool stuff just took too long to get to. So it was okay. It was okay. Robert?
I definitely wish I liked it as much as I used to. I forgot, honestly, how much of a slow burn this movie was. And even the first time watching it, I didn't feel it was as slow as what it was on this second rewatch. And it's been easily over 10 years since I've watched this and or read the book. Definitely stick with the book. Fuego?
Yeah, man. I didn't remember it quite as well. And the affinity, the just like holding it in such high regard, it didn't hold up. I'm kind of bummed about the fact that I speak the praise of this film all the time. Affleck, Balm and Phantoms. That's
it wasn't terrible.
No. He's actually fine in it, but this film does not. It's not even scary.
No, not at all.
There is maybe one creature extension like sequence, man, and aside from that, there's really nothing. There's nothing of comparable, like, horrific regard. It's like,
Yeah, so the story is two sisters show up in this town that's very dead, and they quickly run across Ben Affleck and Liev Schreiber and a couple of other law enforcement officers that are trying to figure out what's going on as well. Slowly we find out that there's a creature presence that has killed everyone in the town and is hiding in the sewers, and Peter O'Toole's character is brought in because they find clues leading to bringing him in, and they have to figure out what to do about this creature and how to get rid of it. And the story, it's okay. It just is slow. It's so slow, like we said. So I'm not sure if you guys have more to add or if we should roll directly into the acting. So
not a whole lot. I would just say just go into the acting.
So
like mild development. It's as everything goes down. That's about it. So,
now, acting-wise, I have to say my favorite is probably Liev Schreiber because he really. This was the first. I always think of Liev Schreiber as a creepy actor, and now I remember why. Because this is probably my first big encounter with him. I think this is either right around or just before Scream 2 when he was introduced as Cotton Weary. And even in that, he didn't get to be as creepy as he got to be in this. So
I was about to say he was like very marginalized in the original Scream, and then he got a little bit more in the second Scream film.
And then he was featured in 3.
Wasn't he framed though?
Yeah, he was framed for the killing of Sydney's
mom.
Exactly. He was the one who was like
in jail. But he did get out and eventually got brought in. So I thought he was great. Rose McGowan was pretty forgettable, honestly.
She was very weak in this movie.
Yeah.
And
hence her older sister, man. Her older sister outdoes her in this, I must admit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jennifer, what was her name? Gooding? Going? Something like that. But yeah,
Jennifer Going, not coming.
Yeah. No, she definitely, like, the older sister in this was definitely a lot better.
Significantly.
Affleck was just too young. He was miscast because he's too young to be playing this sheriff of this town.
I feel like it was the same thing like what they did with the original Watchers adaptation and everything, because that character, like I said, he was mid-40s. I believe this character was like supposed to be like later 30s, I believe. But yeah, definitely Affleck was way too young for this.
Yeah. Any other acting thoughts from you, Fuego?
Well, I mean, he's not as commanding as I recall. Maybe it was because of the fact that I was so bought into the fact that, Kevin Smith is singing the praises of his friend, and so, I'm championing...
the bomb!
Yeah, exactly. I'm, championing the fact that he was the bomb in Phantom. You know, he's all right, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I don't know. There was a lot of just forgettable, you know, performance in this.
Yeah, Peter O'Toole
So-
and Liv Schreiber definitely outacted everybody.
Yeah,
in this
Peter
movie.
O'Toole was.
Hell, even the
star.
dog.
He was great. Yeah, the dog was actually quite solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
The
golden
the
retriever.
score I want to mention because the score was actually pretty good.
Yes.
I did like the music.
Yeah.
I thought that was effective
Mm-hmm.
and entertaining.
Ominous.
Yeah, ominous appropriately.
So I mean, Kuntz's script though. I mean, anytime
His adaptation from his book, man, like I said, just read the book.
That's where I have to ask you, man, because the fact that so many people have been like, you know, not too happy on King when he adapts his own material isn't always the best case when,
Well-
you know, somebody is trying to write a screenplay
To a
when they
point-
are an author of, you know, novelistic, you know, capabilities, obviously, in
To
comparison.
a point, I feel definitely is better for the author to have his own change to his own material, but obviously you're going to have the studio interference and everything like that. So
Was it that drastically different in your estimation here?
yes and no. The one thing I definitely do like with all the extra detail and the explanation of backstory and little things definitely help to progress the book a lot quicker than what we got in this. At least, okay, like I said, this is going on memory. All right, it's been easily 12 years since I've watched. Well, not anymore for watching, but reading the book.
Yeah.
But yes, just read the damn book.
And then finally, the effects. There was a little bit of CG. Well, no, that's not true. There was a lot of CG towards the end. But there was actually a good amount of practical still tried to mix in towards the front half of the movie. So I was a fan of the effects. Obviously, when it gets to the super CG stuff, you know it's dated 90s, late 90s
doesn't hold
CG. But
Yeah,
but it's
99.
still, you know, the effects were not bad overall. It's the makeup effects on the people were good, and especially the dog, when the dog's eyes rolled
Yes.
into the weird cream gross color. I thought that was pretty
Well,
cool.
his face kind of morphed a little bit
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
But
so-
even the scene in the church and whatnot, that was very like homage to the Thing.
yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I still definitely enjoyed the hell out of that.
Yeah. Fuego?
Yeah, they took their cues from The Thing, and I mean, hell, everything Carpenter, you know, The Thing, Blob, and so on and so forth. So, you know, I will give them credit in that regard as far as like the sanctity and the reverence and stuff like that. But I don't know, it didn't hold up to the degree that
practical-
I remembered. I stand corrected, which kind of sucks, you know, because of the fact that I proclaimed this film to be a lot more fun than I remembered it being. So.
Who knows? Maybe you go back like in a year or so, just a random rewatch, and be like, "Man, I remember why I like this movie."
Maybe.
You
but
know?
Not
I don't
for
know.
me. I'm not going to rewatch
Yeah.
anything.
I don't think you would. Yes.
So that's going to do it for our review, you guys. Thanks again for SK for recommending this as our patron. If you guys want to become a patron, you can do so by clicking the link in the description box, and you can actually request a movie like
Do it.
Phantoms for us, maybe a little better than Phantoms for us, to review for the channel. We have a lot of reviews that we're cranking out for this, so thank you guys very much for watching. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird,
I'm a Robert Duell.
Gracias. I mean, Fuego.
and remember, stay scared.